Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Next week we will be
back to sin.
Back to sin.
Awesome.
Your favorite subject. Back to sin. This morning we are blessed to have a special treat here, and I'll let John do the introductions. Please join me in prayer. Lord God, we give you thanks for this day and for your church, your universal church. We give you thanks, especially this morning, for our brothers and sisters in Tanzania and for the work that they do to advance your kingdom. Ask your blessing on our hour here and on the rest of the morning, that your Spirit be with us as we share and learn more about what it is to be partners in ministry in the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, John.
Number one, thank you all for being here this morning, coming to this topic about Imani School, our mission project in Tanzania. And we're very fortunate and blessed to have an entourage come from Tanzania, Bishop Aganza and his wife Frida. And at this time, I think I'll let the bishop kind of introduce his entourage and where they're from and how they're part of your mix that's traveling over here in the U.S., if you don't mind.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good to be here, and always a joy to come back to St. John's. This morning I'm here with my wife Frida, who has been here also several times. And also we are here with our daughter, our oldest daughter, Vision. She has been here several times as a baby. Now she's studying in Minneapolis at Augsburg College. Yeah, doing pre-medicine, and so she has been here for a couple of years now. With us is Dr. Jessica Baitani. Dr. Jessica, she's from Tanzania. She's married to my other son, Smart, who also comes from Tanzania, but we met in Chicago, and it's a long story, long time ago, and then he became our son. So they are married with Jessica. They live in Minneapolis. Yes, with them they are with their two children, Sunday school, the boy is at Sunday school, and Amara is here, Also our youngest who has never been here before, because we have been here several times with Vision and Mission, but now we have Prince. He's 5-year-old Prince. He's at the Sunday school also. And also we have Sarafina. Sarafina lives with the Baitanis also and takes care of Amara and their Besige. I would like to bring greetings from Tanzania, but especially from Kaisho at Imani School, the school that is a offspring of your generosity here at St. John. It all started with Dr. Don, Barnes, and Gloria when they visited back in 1998 when I was living in McFarland, and it sparked. And since then, St. John came along. We built the school, we finished it. It is going on very well. I've brought a lot of materials, and John will distribute some of them to you. But I would like to bring greetings and a good reports from Imani School. Now we have 248 students, kind of halfway, boys and girls. And it's one of the best schools in the state. Ranking between number 2, 3, 4 from year to year. And so I bring greetings from them, students, teachers, and parents. They do really appreciate the support that they receive. I have also brought a financial report from your 3 years contribution to support the school. So the mission of the school is going on very well, and they do send greetings. Together with greetings from Imani School, of course, we have been also been receiving support to support the high school girls. Education in Tanzania is so quality education in Tanzania is so expensive to get, and therefore when we started with a vision from Gloria and Dan, they started this and distributed the information to you, and people are generous to support this project of supporting gifted high school girls. And the results of this, up to now, out of your generosity, we have one judge, High Court judge, from this support. We have several nurses, teachers, 2 engineers, and others are still going on. So I have sent a report also to John elaborating that. We still have needs towards that, because when you have a situation of poverty in the family, the family of 5, the average family size in Tanzania is 6 to 7 children in each family. So when you have resources that are not enough to support all children, always the boys are the ones who are being chosen or selected to continue their education. So with your generosity, a lot of girls have been helped, and I would like to thank you this morning for that support. So I don't have much to say, because I would like to listen more from you. There are new faces, those who would like to know more about Imani, to know about our project to support girls in the high schools, about the diocese, about the country. I'll be more than happy to provide information. But Imani School, of which I can feel that your passes are there, it's doing very well. It's doing very well. In terms of infrastructure, it is complete. We have water tanks. We do not have power yet. I was talking to John last night that we dream of having solar panels in order to put on the roof so that students can be able to get light during the night. These days we are sometimes forced to use the powered generator by fuel, but it's very expensive to run, and it kind of depreciates the resources of the budget, and therefore we are really looking forward to see if we could get solar power to that school, because it's so remote. Those who have been there, John has been there, Sharon has been there too. Yeah. Thank you so much. I would like to invite questions if there is any, and I'll be more than happy to explain. Yeah.
Thank you, Bishop. Yeah. Okay, yes, he did provide a few handouts here. This is kind of the latest copy, kind of about there's not quite enough to go around. If you could just share, appreciate that. Well, just to give you an idea, like the bishop mentioned that John Barnes and Don Glory kind of started this, and then we got together with a group from First Lutheran, and when we started our building fund project for the school and like that, and then a group of us had an opportunity in 2003 to go over there and see what was happening like that. And those looking at the pictures like that can see the school building that was being built. And then we kept on raising money here, and then in 2006 a group of us went over again and visited, and it was just remarkable what the change was over there and how far they had progressed. And just to give you an idea, this is kind of a small map, but Tanzania is on the eastern part of Africa, and right underneath Kenya. And we would land in Dar es Salaam right on the coast here. And then we would take some flights over to Lake Victoria, and then take a flight over the lake. And then we would ride in Land Rovers to Kaisho. And it's in the very, very upper corner. So when he mentioned about a motor generator and fuel, there's no highways or anything. It's pretty dirt roads, and so transportation is very premium, and to get fuel out there is very costly. And of course, over there, fuel is in liters, so what's it, 4 liters to basically a gallon, so you're talking like $4 or $5 a liter, or it could even be more. So, you know, that's part of the thing. And when our church also collected medical supplies, school supplies, library books, and we put them in a container. We used global health, And we went up there in Minneapolis to load the container, and then when we sent the container over there, it would land in Dar es Salaam, and then it had to be transported all the way by roads to there. And then when it got to Kaisho like that, it just dropped. There's no bringing the container back or anything. It's there to stay like that. And that's just because of the transportations and roads like that. So, as we talked about last night, the power situation, there is some main power in some points, but there's not a line that connects them to a point. And they do get some power from, is it Uganda? Uganda. But it's intermittent, maybe a couple hours a day or something like that. So it's kind of hard to sit down and run your computer or anything for just knowing that you're going to be using it in a couple days like that. So they don't really have that. His idea of the solar panels and like that is a great idea for, at this time, since there's no money like that available to keep running a T1 line or something out to this part of the country. So cell phones are pretty popular, right? They probably have a tower on Mount Kilimanjaro or something like that. Kind of It'd be a great place because everything else is pretty, So, but it's beautiful out there. It's just beautiful. So it just gives you kind of an idea that this is in kind of the outback. They just don't have. We have to make a connection that when we think, oh, you can just do this and you do that. It's just not quite that easy. You have to scale back your thinking a little bit, to help them out here. And I think one of the biggest draws that when Don and Gloria started this project and we got people involved here is the common link is Christianity. Because when we were over there and met the people for the first time, we kind of got out of the Land Rovers and the whole kids and everything were right there. Everyone just kind of stopped about 30 seconds and just kind of looked at one another. Then all of a sudden, all the kids smile, everyone just, it's just, the unabashed love like that was just tremendous. And that's the way it's been ever since. The connection there is just unbelievable. And and they live and love and teach and live their lives with just a Christian spirit and Jesus in their heart. And it just shows in their example of how they work and go to school, how the kids really want to learn like that. It just really makes you feel good right there. And I'm really proud that St. John's has taken the opportunity to be a part of that. And we're at a point now where we have progressed and we have built a school. The school is up there in the top 3 or 4. We are getting kids, girls like that to go to college. And now there's a group from Minneapolis, and they're starting a college over there in Karagwe. And it's growing. And it does take a while. It doesn't happen overnight. We've planted seeds quite a while ago, but we are really starting to get some fruit from our labor. And I think that's such a great thing. And we want to continue on. And we're at a point now where, with the bishop here today, to say, okay, here's where we are. What are some futures? How can we help them still achieve what they want to do and what goals? Because the kids over there are like sponges for education and learning. They're there to get something. And their parents are very interested in education. We want, if you're going to make something and do something and help our country, you must be educated. And we were there. And we're going to help them. And I think with a collective effort and thinking, we might really come up with some unique ideas for them and help them along. So that being said, I guess we'll kind of get into some questions. So I'm not talking, we'll let Bishop. I like that. I don't know, some of you had a chance to see the brochure or not. If you have any questions, feel free. Yeah. Yes.
I actually have 2 questions. And the first one, maybe you would have no idea, but you were talking about solar panels. Do you have any idea what the cost or estimated cost on something like that would be? And my second question is, I know St. Thomas, over in Minneapolis is helping to build a college. Is that located by our school, and how far along are they on that?
Yeah.
He definitely is involved in this college
Maybe I
project.
start with the second one, yeah. Yeah, it is called Karagwe University College, Karuko. It is still under construction, but we are looking forward to open it next year in October. It is going to be a constituent college or constituent campus of Tumaini University in Makumira, Arusha. That is a church-based university in Tanzania. So we are opening a new campus in Karagwe. The idea is that all these students that get education in Karagwe area, they don't have to travel far to get university education. They should stay in Karagwe. Stay in Karagwe, and of course it has a spillover effect, even in terms of economy. When you have the university located in the area, it kind of transforms the lives of the people right there. So the diocese of which I lead is the owner of that Karagwe University campus to be located in Karagwe. So up in the Twin Cities, there is a non-for-profit organization called Educate Tanzania. They are the ones who pioneered to collect funds to help us put up that facility. Which I think they have been here. Jan has been here, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that's it. Would like to utilize that opportunity to help the young people from the area to stay within Karagwe. Because what is happening now, young people, when they finish secondary school, high school, they are forced to go in the big cities and they never come back. Yeah, they never come back. So we're trying to keep them there, to be creative, to make them think and create jobs within the area and stay right there. On the first question, I don't have the figures in terms of the solar panels, but it's something that we can work on. If it generates interest, we'll be more than happy to do it. Of course, education these days, it has to do with technology. And I can see those young girls and boys at Imani, they are craving to learn to use the computers. And when they finish the school to go to join other students who have come from schools that have computers, I can see the struggles. So the idea is to see if we can have power and have a computer lab where these young boys and girls can start learning how to use computers before they leave the school to go to join higher education. So, but the figures can be provided once I get home. Yeah.
I'm just wondering where your teachers come from. Do you have teachers and professors from a variety of places, or are some of them from the school originally?
Yeah, teachers come from everywhere, but most of them are from the area in Karagwe. My diocese covers the area with a population of about 1 million people. And most of these teachers I see, they come from this area. But when we open the university campus, of course, that one will have teachers from all over the world. We have already started to receive applications, even from abroad, people who would like to come to teach at the campus.
What will be the primary subjects or majors offered?
It is agriculture, animal sciences, and environmental sciences. Yeah. The Lutheran Church in Tanzania have this one big university. What we are trying to do now is to profile and create competencies. So the college in Karagwe, where I come from, it will be for sciences in agriculture, animals, and environmental sciences. Those who would like to study law, they will be sent to another campus, education, etc., etc.
My husband teaches environmental science here at the university. Maybe we should come to Tanzania.
Please. I'll have a parish for you, and you will have a class to teach.
I say that tongue in cheek. Or maybe not, I don't know.
I have parishes that goes on without pastors, so you all come to. Yeah. Yes, please.
Can you tell us about the economy in the area?
Yeah, the economy in the area is not good. But the irony is, the area is so fertile such that it is the basket of the whole region. Food that is being used in the whole region comes from Karagwe. But yet people are poor. Why? Number one, infrastructure. You said it. There are not good roads that goes to these farming communities. Secondly, technology. There is no facilities to add value to the product that comes from the farmers. So farmers are being exploited by being forced to sell raw coffee, raw banana, which is not processed, and they get little money. So they end up becoming poorer and poorer. But the middlemen who buy these products take them out, process them, and export them. They are filthy rich. So one of our vision is to have this university generate technology within the area in order to help the small farmers to process their products before they sell them. Yeah. But in terms of economy, they are very poor. I can say probably 80% of the people who live in this area, they live below the mark. Below the mark. Yeah, $1 a day. Yeah.
Going back in the history of this country, and I'm not sure it'd be any benefit over there, but it was the same thing here for farmers. And the farmers formed cooperatives.
Yes.
And that's something that farmers might consider over there, forming some cooperatives to do a bit of marketing.
Yes, we have cooperative unions in Tanzania. And actually our country, right after independence, we gained some economic marriage by using cooperative union. But then corruption got into it. Cooperatives became tools of people who were craving to get to power. They could use cooperative to get to power, but once they got to power, they didn't help the cooperatives to be clean. So today we have a very ailing cooperative union in the country, including our own in Karagwe, Karagwe Cooperative Union. We have coffee, which is needed. You drink coffee here. It's a very precious coffee. Comes from Karagwe. People are poor, cooperatives are dying, and those who buy that coffee from Karagwe and export it to the global market, they are filthy rich. They don't even live in Karagwe. They live in Dar es Salaam. Yeah, so cooperatives was a solution for poverty, but then it became a curse. Yeah, yeah.
What about equal exchange or fair trade? Doesn't come in there at all?
I'm sorry to say it doesn't, but what I have seen in Europe and even here, there are some people who come there and buy this coffee, process them, package them, export them by using fair trade. But that money, once it is generated, it goes to them. It doesn't go to the farmers. So there is a monstrous middleman connection here in between that creates GEPA. In Germany, it is called GEPA. Here you call it, how do you call it here? The fair trade, yeah. In Germany, it is called GEPA. Yeah, there is a monstrous connection here in between. It has networked through East Africa. They buy products, they process them, they export them under the banner of fair trade. Yeah, yeah. But if cooperatives were working, these could be good tools of doing fair trade through cooperatives. Yeah, yeah.
Bishop, how's the water situation? You have a water tank like that at Imani.
Yeah, water situation is not better. Less than 10% of the population in Tanzania gets clean water. Less than 10%. In Karagwe, where I come from, it is less than 2% of the population that gets clean water. So the rest of the population, they rely on rain harvesting, which is harvested into the tanks like the one you contributed to Imani School. It is collected there and they use it during the summer when heat is so high. You have to economize how you use water so that rain season can come and bring more water. So it's it's the biggest problem because we don't have drilling facilities to be able to drill water from the water table to bring it overground and use it. So most of the people are using the rain harvesting system. Yeah.
Does your school have enough water tanks to, storage tanks?
No,
to
at Imani we have couple water tanks. The biggest one is the one that you contributed with about 200,000 liters. The other one is about 50,000 liters. So we still need more water tanks at the school. The good thing is that they are not very far from the spring, flowing spring, like a creek. So whenever there is no water in the tank, students are going to fetch it from the creek. And it's
Quite a hike though, isn't it?
yes, of course. Yeah. It's quite a hike and it's not safe because you can be tapping water here in the creek, but probably a kilometer above people are washing, bathing, they are feeding their cows and cattle, and it's flowing, coming down, and then you take that too. It is not that clean. Yeah.
most of the students at the school, they stay there all the time. They're in the dormitories, or is there any kind of people that kind
we
of
have a couple dormitories, one for boys and another one for girls. And this makes it sort of necessary and mandatory that all students stay there. But recently, we have received frequent applications and pleas from parents who live within the 10 kilometers perimeter from the school. They would like to have their students come to Imani school, but they don't like their students to stay in the dorm because they are still little. They are still young, first graders, second graders. They would like to come and go to be residential, to be day, to be coming and going back the same day. But the problem would be transportation. When you have these 5, 6, 7 years old, to walk 10 miles is not good. So the school is looking into the possibility if they could get a minivan to be taking them back and forth every day. And the parents are willing even to contribute money for gas if the minivan is available. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know anything about your national government. Is your government supportive of helping you with these issues of water and energy, roads?
The policy says so. The action says no. Yeah, the government, our government is, I think it got confused. Back in the...
I think you're being polite.
No, no. I think it got confused. When we became independent, the government declared itself to be socialist, which means all social services will be provided by the government. But after the Cold War was over, our government jumped into the bandwagon of free market, and there it got confused because it lost the grip to the social services. As we speak today, 45% of the social services in the country, they are provided by the churches. Education, health, water, environment, advocacy, it is done by non-governmental sector, the churches. When you add other non-governmental sector, for instance, my son Smart here, he runs a non-profit organization called COSAD, doing rural development in Tanzania. There are hundreds of like those in Tanzania. So when you add churches and these private non-governmental, it's over 70% of the social services, they are done by non-governmental sector. And I wonder what the government is doing. They are doing tourism and mining, that's it.
Are they wealthy?
Corrupt. I will not call wealthy, corrupt, yes.
I mean, is there a lot of resources that could be distributed?
Yeah. But it's being exploited and exported, that's it. Yeah.
Do they hold elections over there?
Yes, we have one this year. We have one coming up in October, and already this is the season where they come down to greet us. They kneel down and greet us. And after the election, they put their hands in the pockets and then they lecture us, yeah? They have money to buy votes. Unfortunately, it's not like here. In our country, it is even terrible. They can be voted out, but yet buy those votes back. That's what they do, yeah. Yeah.
Don't tell them here how you do it.
Please.
More of a philosophical question, but
Please.
as you listen to the government and the corruption that you politely talk about, and we think about the alumni that you and we hopefully are helping build, leading through a college education, there's a great power to that education process that hopefully can begin to have an impact on government and how life is lived and the culture in that area. From your standpoint, what are the dreams you begin to think of, or the stories you begin to think of as I ask that question, and the power of the alumni and the people? Granted, many of it left, but my guess is they still have ties and love and fear and interest of back home. And does that have hope for you and everybody living there in the next 5 years, 10 years, or is it 20 years and more?
Yeah, I agree with you. Our vision as a church, when we provide education, is to create values in the young minds, to cherish those values wherever they found themselves, either in the government service or in the private sector. So it's like, now I'm becoming also philosophical, trying to penetrate this ebb, big ebb with corruption, but we penetrate it with values and implode it afterwards. So I really live with hope. If not today, maybe some years to come, there's going to be a change. There's going to be a change because our aim is to build values within the young minds from the kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, and now universities, hoping that in future, in every public office, there should be a graduate from a church-owned school. And through that person, there should be a beacon of hope in that office.
So do you and the churches have the potential to play an active role in the college curriculum, making sure that that's part of the ag school, the animal science, and so forth?
Yes. We prepare our own curriculum, but it has to be approved by the government. But we make sure that what is being approved, it is being taught seriously and supervised. There are some mandatory courses, whether you are taking agriculture, soil sciences, animals, mathematics, whatever, you have to take those value-laden subjects to make sure that you take them. Or 3 years, 4 years during the course. Yeah.
Hey, Bishop, since the Imani School has really developed and the complex is pretty well complete like that, what's kind of the future of the school? What kind of goals are they looking for? Or there's something in the area there that in some way how St. John's could even help in your long-range goals?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to, as I said in the beginning, I would like to thank you for the support. Over the last 3 years, you have given Imani slightly more than $43,000, and that has helped. What we do when this money comes, there is a special committee formed by the parents in the school board. They sit, they review the special needs of the students and distribute scholarships to those most needed students at the school. That's how we do. That's how we do. So there is a committee. It's not me who decides. The money comes and goes to school, and there is a committee that supervises that money and distributes. I brought all pictures, photos of the recipients for last year. John will put them somewhere so that you can see. The biggest challenge that we have now, parents have come to me several times and they have sent letters through the PTA, Parents Association, saying that the quality of education that their children get at Imani, and because there is no secondary school where they can continue, so they are forced after standard 7 to move to other schools, they kind of get confused. These values, good education, care, support that they have built for 7 years, it kind of gets lost because they have to start it over. So parents have been asking the diocese to extend Imani school into a secondary school, so that when they finish the primary school, they continue with the secondary school for 4 years. They finish high school there, and then they leave. By that time, they are grown up enough to be able to face the realities in the complex university campuses. Yeah, so our challenge is to see if we can extend Imani to be Imani primary and Imani secondary school. Continue right there. Basic facilities are there. The dining hall is there. The kitchen is there. You see, all we need is some classrooms, like 4 classrooms and maybe one extra dormitory. But this can be done in phases. Can be done in phases indeed. It's doable. It's doable. I would like, if there is possibility, to encourage you to think along those lines. Yeah.
I imagine if you're going about and getting more classrooms like that, then for secondary education, you need like a science department or laboratory or a little bit.
Yes, you need one block divided into 2 or 3 parts, like this room for sciences. For sciences, you need another extended library and classrooms. But those have to be done in phases. Yeah, and do small by small every year until you finish.
Well, Mr. Anderson from the school had mentioned about a project of planting 40,000 trees.
Yes.
Elaborate on that.
Yeah, when we had this dream of extending the secondary school construction at Imani, the government gave us a land to build this school, which is connected to Imani school. And this is where he's planning to plant these trees. Yeah, that's where he's planning to plant these trees.
What kind of trees would you plant?
Mostly pines and some these fruit trees like avocados, mangoes. Yeah.
Please, Pastor. First of all, there may be a couple of people leaving in a couple of minutes. They're going to choir. That's for no other reason. My second question is, personal connections make such a difference.
Yes.
There are a number of new members. We've had a lot of new members who come in and they hear about the Tanzania school, but they don't have anything to connect it with. Is there a way that we can have some personal contact with people in the school? What would you suggest?
Yeah, there is no email connection to the school, but the headmaster, Mr. Anderson, he has to travel at least 100 miles to come to town where he can go to the internet cafe and be able to communicate. And I think he has provided his email address on that one. So that is the only connection you can do. Other than that, mobile phones. Mobile phones through WhatsApp or through text messages. Yeah, it's far away.
How about old-fashioned letters? I mean, is this part? The students are learning to read and write English.
Yes, yeah.
So that could be part of the process.
Putting in the mail, wait for 6 weeks to get it here, and it's okay.
Hey,
yeah.
we got time.
Yeah. That is doable. That's doable. In the brochure, there is everything you can, yeah.
Do you have cell coverage though? Is that what you said?
What?
Do you have cell phone coverage?
Yeah, we have cell phone coverages.
So then the children would have access to like the tablets and the internet through the cell phone coverage, even though it's not a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
does it cost money though for the students? Here, our cell phone plans, we largely get our data free, most of us, I think, as part of our plans. But do your students, or are they paying?
Actually, students are not allowed to have cell phones at school.
Oh, good idea.
That sounds like a great idea.
But teachers do have, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Teachers do have, yes. Please.
What are the grades for the primary school?
The grades?
Yeah.
You mean?
Does it start like kindergarten?
Yeah, they start with preschool.
Preschool, okay.
Preschool. For us, preschool includes both preschool and kindergarten. It's the same thing. And then after that, they get to grade 1, first grade, all the way to grade 7. Yeah.
So they're U.S. style grade levels, or are they more British style?
More British.
Okay.
Yeah. More British.
So, Benson, I wonder if I could just take a moment here and kind of switch spots here and have Frida come up and address this, because I think it'd be interesting to hear from a woman's perspective of what's happening over there. Add on to what you've been talking about, which has been very informative. But Frida, if you could just share some thoughts of, what are the women doing over there as far as jobs and their way of life?
Yes, I'm here to say something about women in Tanzania, especially Karagwe, the place I come from. But since I have been in this country, it has been 10 years since I left here. So sometimes I get a little bit stuck in explaining Swahili in English. So to make it clear, can I ask a patient to come and translate so I can say in Swahili so you can understand everything? Please. Hi. Yeah. Ningependa kuelezea kuhusu maisha wanawake wa Karagwe kule napoishi jinsi yalivyo.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the living conditions of women in Karagwe.
Yeah, wanawake wa Karagwe wanaishi kwenye hali ambayo sio nzuri sana. Wanakabiliwa na changamoto nyingi sana na wana mzigo mzito kutunza familia.
Okay, women in Karagwe face a lot of challenges, and their life situations are hard, and most of these women have a very heavy burden to take care of their families.
Yeah, kwa jinsi ninavyoona kwa muda ambao nimekaa kule, wanawake wa Karagwe kama wangekuwa na ule uwezo wa kuwezeshwa kujimudu wenyewe, wana uwezo mkubwa kutunza familia na kubadilisha kila kitu katika jamii.
Okay, so in my time living there amongst the women, I've noticed that if women were enabled to take care of their family, if they had the means to do so, they would be agents of lots of positive change, because they would be in a position to make to create the most difference.
Yeah, mimi kama mwanamke nimezaliwa kule na nimekulia kule, nimeona wanawake sisi tumekuwa sisi ndio kila kitu katika familia, na wanaume kwa ujumla kule hawaangalii familia kwa ujumla. Kwa hiyo mzigo wote unakabiliwa na mwanamke. Mwanamke ndio angalie watoto, mwanamke ndio angalie familia, mwanamke ndio aende kulima. Kwa hiyo kila kitu kinamkabili mwanamke, na kwa jinsi hivyo mwanamke anaishi kwenye hali ngumu siku zote.
Gonna try. So, women in general are the greatest role players in the family. They are the ones who take care of the children, as you know. They're the ones who are responsible for children's development. They are the ones who honestly take the greatest burden upon themselves to make sure that their children, as well as their whole entire families, prosper and develop. So, and this is like, and yeah, this is like sometimes without the support of the male figures in the family, and so like without the support, women can't do much. They're not in a position to be able to make a large change.
Yeah, kwa ufupi hali ilivyo kule Karagwe na Tanzania kwa ujumla. Kwa hiyo pengine mkiniuliza maswali nitakuwa vizuri kuwajibu. Mkiuliza kama mna kitu cha kuuliza, just niulize alafu nitaendelea kuelezea.
So like this is like generally what's going on, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, specific questions about the women conditions in Tanzania.
Yes.
Are women in Tanzania, particularly young women, are they allowed opportunities for paid employment? Is it acceptable for them to have a job outside the home?
Yeah, ndio wale wanawake ambao wamepata bahati ya kusoma ni kweli wanaweza wakaajiriwa wakapata kazi kama wamepata elimu, lakini wale ambao hawajapata elimu hawawezi kupata kazi mahali popote.
Okay. So yeah, for women who have had the opportunity to education, employment is possible, but I mean like now we do face the issue that not many or most women have that education to get jobs outside the home.
Yeah.
So do you see, speaking back to Lee's question about culture, do you see half of the students in Imani are girls? Do you see that helping to change cultural norms, that those girls are getting an education? And in future, those boys who are going to school with those girls, seeing that the level of equality and that girls can do much that boys can do and boys can do much that girls can do, that's happening because of schools like Imani?
Yeah. Kwa wale wasichana ambao wamepata nafasi kupata elimu kutokea Imani, ni kweli watapata hali nzuri huko baadaye, kwa sababu wenyewe wana opportunity kwamba wamesoma na wanaweza kupata kazi na wanaweza kusikika katika jamii kwa sababu wana elimu. Yeah, hali tu wanaume inawasaidia kwa sababu wanakuwa na confidence, hawaogopi tena.
So yeah, so definitely the situation, I mean, them being in a learning institution with males and boys in particular, is definitely giving them a higher confidence level that's going to give them a voice in the society when they grow up and have the chance to work. And so definitely Imani is playing a part in changing the cultural norms that you mentioned. And so like hopefully in a few years we'll see change. Yeah.
Yes. It does take time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any opportunities for the women to do any small businesses or enterprises? Or do they need funding?
Speak about the microfinancing, the high interest rate,
yes.
Frida, that we talked about last night.
Yes, thank you. That's a good question. That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, the good one. Yeah, kwa sababu wanawake ambao hawajapata elimu ya kwenda shule, lakini wana uwezo kufanya kitu chochote kama wakiwezeshwa.
So there are women who, even without like a formal education, still have the means and like the knowledge,
skills.
Yeah, skills and knowledge to organize their own businesses.
Yeah, iwapo wanawake wakipata mikopo wakakopa, wana uwezo wa kufanya biashara mbalimbali, kujiwezesha, kusupport wenyewe na kusupport familia zao, wana huo uwezo.
So women do have the knowledge and skills. If they are enabled, if they're financially enabled, they are able to start these businesses and small projects on their own.
Yeah. Tanzania ni kweli kuna hizo microfinances zipo za aina tofauti. Wanawake wamekuwa wakijaribu kuchukua hiyo mikopo na kuanza kufanya shughuli mbalimbali za biashara, lakini wengi wamekwama kwa sababu interest rate zimekuwa ziko juu, kwa hiyo wameshindwa kufanya na wamekata tamaa.
So like women, so microfinance projects do exist, and women are able to take microloans and start their own businesses, but because of the high interest rates, like women have been discouraged to continue to take them out. Yeah, conditions are just too harsh on them.
So is it different for males versus females?
Yeah, excuse me.
For the men, do they get a different interest rate than what the women do?
No, no,
Oh.
the same.
But it's the same either way.
Yeah.
Men have collaterals, women do not.
Pardon me?
Men have collaterals, women do not.
Oh. And the collateral is the
Land,
family?
land, house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's,
This is not a women-specific question, but rather, how prevalent is Islam in the area?
Excuse me, that's Bishop
Yeah, in terms of population, Tanzania has 48 million people. 48 million people. And the figures shows that Christians are probably 55%, Muslims 45%. Sometimes Muslims claim that they are 55 and that Christians are 45. And the government seems to be timid to break it even and say who is more than the other, for obvious reasons, security. But now the situation is so bad. The Al-Shabaab in Somalia activities are coming down, 2 weeks ago, they killed 147 students at the university campus in Kenya, Garissa. Already the intelligence report in our country shows that there are pockets of those activities in the mosques, different mosques in the country. They come into the mosque, they practice over there. Just a week ago, a mosque in the central Tanzania was invaded by, was stormed by the police, and they found about 10 terrorists from Al-Shabaab with bombs and explosives and knives and everything inside the mosques. So, yeah, the situation is not that good.
I'm sorry I had to bring it up, but
Yeah, it's okay. It's a reality.
Yeah. You're not saying that Muslims, there are many great, good Muslims.
Of course, yeah,
And
yeah.
so you're talking about
Extremism, yeah. I can even give you an example. In my own area, Muslims are less than 10%. And for many years, we have lived together with them safely. But when they started being infiltrated by the extremists, the relationship between Muslims and Christians went bad. So at one point, Catholics and Protestants, during the funerals, which have always been communal, whenever we are conducting funerals, weddings and everything, all are invited. Priests became so strict that whenever we are conducting funerals, Muslims have to leave. Conducting weddings, Muslims have to leave. So Muslim leaders, they came to me as a bishop, asking me if I could take them to meet with a Catholic bishop, because the Catholics are the majority in our area, to meet the Catholic bishop to ask a special clemency so that he can announce that not all Muslims, as you said, that not all Muslims are that way. I said, I'm willing to take you there, but I give you one condition. You have to go to the public radio, denounce all Islamic fundamentalist acts, so that people really see the difference, that these are good Muslims and these are those who are causing chaos. They said, if we go and announce that, they will kill us. I said, okay, now if you are not willing to be killed, I'm not going to take you to the bishop. And it ended up there. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, excuse me, just finishing about women. Okay. Yeah. Mimi kama mwanamke inaniuma sana ninapokaa katika wanawake ambao wameishi kwenye hali ya umaskini. Mimi nina bahati kidogo kwa sababu nimesoma na nafanya kazi napata mshahara.
So it really hurts me whenever I'm amongst women who have lived in the harsh conditions of poverty, because I've lived, I've had the opportunity to have education and get a job. Yep, and I'm able to, I have like I have a living from my job.
Yeah. Kwa hiyo ninapokuwa niko nyumbani naona wanawake wengi wanakuja pale nyumbani. Kwa kuwa mimi nafanya kazi, napata mshahara, wanahitaji msaada. Wanaenda hospitalini kutibisha watoto, hamna dawa. Wanakuja kwamba kama naweza kusaidia. Watoto wanasoma shule lakini hawana school supplies na uniform na nini, wanakuja kwa kama naweza kusaidia. Kwa sasa mimi siwezi kusaidia watu wote kwa sasa, mshahara wangu sio mkubwa kiasi hicho.
So like while I'm at home, women do like come by oftentimes to come and see whether I in my position can help them. Their children face lots of problems. They go to school, they go to hospitals, and they don't get medicine or proper health care. They go to school, they don't have proper school supplies, and me in my position, I can't help each and every woman that comes to me because I'm not in a position, I'm not financially able to do so.
Yeah, kwa hiyo mimi ninaomba na natamani kama wanawake wangewezeshwa kupata mikopo, wana uwezo wa kubadilisha maisha yao na maisha ya familia kwa ujumla.
But I'm really optimistic that if women were enabled and if they were able to get loans, microloans, they would very much be able to support themselves and their families.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can I ask one question?
Okay.
Are the children taught English, and then the parents, there are many parents that don't know the English, that the children are being taught, so that you have parents who cannot speak the English that the kids are learning at school?
In Tanzania, there's different schools. There's these English medium schools. Those children can speak English, but the parents can't speak English as well. But there is those public schools. English is just law, no English over there.
Oh, okay.
So the parents can't speak English. Even the children can't speak English.
Okay.
But those who can go even like Imani school, medium school, that can speak English, the students, but the parents, no. I'll boost my English next time when I come. Myself. Yeah.
As long as our visitors don't have to speak Swahili.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Well, you can see how important the Imani school with teaching English has really become, and I know that was a big thing Don really stressed was, you know, and Javette said, you know, teach English, and we can see what effect it had, and I think the future effect would be great. Well, I think we're going to kind of wrap it up like that. I really thank the people from Tanzania coming and visiting with us today, and very much, and sharing with us, and hopefully you got a chance to answer some questions and find out some things about our mission project like that. And they'll be attending the next service, and then afterwards we're going to have a light luncheon in the small assembly, and you're all welcome to come and share and greet with them and talk with them some more. So thanks again for coming, and feel free to mill around and chat with them. Thank you again.
Yeah.